This is Film Trigger.
Derpy Gaming says, hello, friends. I'm here for quality content. Well, you came to the wrong channel. There we go.
That's very good.
Except for the fact that it's George Clooney's Batman.
So by that logic, George Clooney is the best live-action Batman we have ever got.
If Justice League 2 isn't announced in 2022, I will shave my head bald live on air.
Streaming from Studio 47, Film Trigger's Drive-By News begins now.
What's going on?
Not much.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Film Trigger. I am your host, Stevie Cade. This is your other host, Seth. Hi, Seth.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm okay, man. Not doing too bad. So, okay, before we actually get started into the stuff that we're going to talk about today, Seth, maybe I should have asked you backstage about this, but we kind of have an announcement about Seth, don't we?
Oh, we're doing this. Okay.
Yeah, you want to that will impact the channel a little bit. How much, we don't know. But I want to say first and foremost that I am very proud of my son. He is 17, about to be 18 years old, and you just got what did you get, Seth? What just happened? What's the big news?
I got a job.
Whoa! Yes, you can finally pay your rent. Seth just got a job, and now even more exciting, or just as exciting rather, where did you get a job at? You don't have to be specific of the exact location.
Local theater, my local movie theater.
The local movie theater. Isn't that just fitting? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, my friend. Seth, congratulations, my man. I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad. Now we have an insider. We have an insider here at Film Trigger coming direct from the local theater.
That's not how that works.
It's how it works in my head. Oh, man. Mary J. McKnight, what's up? New friend, good to see you. Jimbo, welcome to the rest of your miserable life. I speak from experience. Oh, man. Aaron White, welcome to the workforce.
Thank
Jimbo, you. LOL, JK. He's not LOL or JKing. He's not. But yeah, Seth, yeah, good to see you too, Mary Jean. How you been? But Seth has a job, so sometimes he won't be here to be my man in front of the curtain. But sometimes he will. But with that being said, that means I need you, everyone in the comments, all the people who follow this channel. I'm going to be going solo sometimes because Ramon can't be here every time. Monte can't be here every time. And now Seth can't be here every time. So now I'm all you got for sometimes. Who knows? Monte might be here more often than not. We'll see. Maybe some other surprise guests. Maybe Jimbo will get that camera working. But with that being said, you guys ready to dive into some of the stuff we're talking about today?
Nope.
Okay, well, good. We'll see y'all later.
Yes,
first of all, let's do the mood music. Let's get some stuff going. Oh, what the hell is that? Oh.
There we go.
There we go.
That sounds better.
Here's some good mood music. All right, and if you're just joining us, this is Film. Maybe I should sound like one of those annoying radio guys. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Film Trigger.
It sounds like someone from a Disney movie.
Sounds like Kip.
Oh my god, it does sound like Kip.
Hello, everybody. If you'd like to give us a call, you can give us a call live right now. The line is open at 740-527-3447. It'd be annoying as fuck.
That would be annoying
if I did the rest of the show like that. Mary Jean, doing okay. Well, that's good. I'm doing okay too, Mary Jean. Glad to hear. Thank you for joining us today. All right, let's get the music down a little bit. Let's get our first topic. We're going to zip through this because our main thing that we're going to discuss today is actually a Thor trailer breakdown, so which is quite a bit to unpack. So we're going to kind of get through our first stuff here. Number one, we all know that Obi-Wan is coming out. What, tomorrow? Is that when it's releasing?
Friday, yeah.
Friday. Okay, I thought it was tomorrow for some reason. Yeah, Friday. Obi-Wan is coming out, and Hayden Christensen is going to be a part of this. So, and Hayden Christensen took to a local, some sort of trade magazine. I honestly can't pronounce the name of this freaking thing. I
don't know.
I have no clue. It seems legit. But he was actually talking about the Star Wars sequel trilogy, something I've personally never heard him talk about before. And he says, I really enjoyed the sequel trilogy. I think it was a great way that they honored this character. I really enjoyed the sort of everything they've been up to with, and it is fun for me to just go back to being a fan. Watch these stories like everybody else. Well, that seems fair. It also seems a little cut and paste, or copy and paste when you hear actors who are obviously coming back into their old roles or starting to work at a studio. They're like, man, I love everything they do over there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But Hayden Christensen is coming back playing Darth Vader again. Seth, people have been on have in the past. He got a lot of shit for his portrayal as Anakin Skywalker, and he got a lot of hate. But now people are starting to warm back up to him. Do you think there's something to be said about nostalgia and how it can affect the way we look at characters, even the ones we didn't like?
Well, here's the thing: is that it's not that people are changing their minds. It's that the people that like him now, the people that are praising him and excited for him, are kids that grew up with those movies. They're not people changing their minds.
That's a very good point. Well, I think some are.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, you have some of them that are like, okay, I'm going to throw me in there, for example. Even though I'm someone who did technically grow up with those movies, I don't love those movies. The prequels,
yeah.
I like Revenge of the Sith, but that's it.
That's a good one.
I like Revenge of the Sith quite a bit, but I really don't like The Phantom Menace, and I especially don't like Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited to see him come back.
So am I. And I was one of those people, if you go back and watch my Star Wars series reviews, I was a little hater on Hayden Christensen. Sand, it's irritable and it gets everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Your delivery. But I think it was Revenge of the Sith when I realized that maybe George Lucas was kind of the problem, because Hayden Christensen in that movie was actually it was played off pretty darn well.
He was a lot better in that one than he was Attack of the Clones.
I think it was just a way that he was directed, because when he was angry, he was really good. But when he was doing the sappy thing, it just didn't work out for me. Real quick, I'm going to get to some of the comments below. It says, Jimbo says, I think I'm going to drink some beer for today's show. Yes. So if my comments get progressively trolly, don't mind me. No, we welcome the fizzy drinks. And Caleb, what's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. He says, I worked at my local theater for a year. I loved every second of it. Unfortunately, they let me go due to the pandemic. Oh, yeah. Also, they gave us 5 free movie tickets a month as a perk. Holy Seth. Can I get movie tickets from you?
No, I don't think that's how that works.
How that works.
I can see movies for free. I don't think I can get
okay.
I don't think I can get people in for free.
we're gonna start that. Okay. Yeah, the pandemic. Actually, Seth wanted to get a job at the theater years ago, but also affected by the pandemic. But luckily, we're out of that now. And again, Seth, I'm happy and proud of you, man. And I'm just all right. Cool. Well, maybe we can get some good movie posters to put in the studio. I don't know.
I thought about that too. Because
I know you did.
I want some new posters for my room. I know you can't see any of them, but I have a Transformers Revenge of the Fallen poster.
Ooh.
And where's my other
the
ones?
Rare commodity.
I have a Force Awakens poster.
But you still have that. Yeah,
I do. There's 2 movie posters that I really want though, so I think I'm gonna get some new ones instead.
Well, I think if I believe, maybe Caleb can confirm this, but I think getting the movie posters is kind of like a first come first serve. Better.
Yeah. Well, I could also just
quickly.
Go to the store and buy one.
fair. But yeah, so back to the Hayden Christensen thing. No, Seth, you make a very good point. You know, people that grew up with those movies, those were their introduction into Star Wars. And for the hardcore fans, like, they don't quite understand that the prequel trilogy is fun for people that grew up with those. You know, they really are. Now moving forward with, you know, kind of bringing up some of these prequel trilogy characters and the people who love the new Star Wars, the people who grew up with the prequels, and even the older folks who grew up with the regular Star Wars, like myself, maybe we can all come together and be like, you know what? We can really just enjoy this freaking franchise together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just, in my mind, I'm just like, it's all Star Wars. Like, obviously, there's the stuff that I like, there's the stuff that I don't like, but I'm not gonna be one of those annoying people. It's like, oh, Rey's not a Skywalker, it's not canon. Like, shut up, it's canon. Like, whether you like it or not, it is canon. Like,
how do you think they're gonna deal with this canon stuff? Let me be more specific. When it comes to the whole, you know, Obi-Wan, Darth Vader thing, there's this big debate going on. You know, what's canon, what's not. You know, like, people thought the last time that Obi-Wan and Darth Vader saw each other, it was on that fire planet. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure you do. Thank you. It was there, and people thought, okay, that was the final battle. They haven't seen each other until they meet again in A New Hope. Now, they never specified that was the last time that they saw each other. But do you think that's canon, or do you think that's imaginary canon? That's canon we put in our own head, so now we have a hard time thinking that they. And what if they fight each other 2 or 3 times in this show?
I mean, it's a retcon, is what it is. Like, originally they probably meant, oh yeah, last time we saw each other was on Mustafar. Even if they didn't say it, that's what was in their minds. But it, like you said, they didn't specify,
right?
So they can easily retcon it and be like, oh well, actually they did meet again. Oh, there's certain things that they can't retcon though, which I've gone down that rabbit hole before.
What's like what?
Darth Maul. People like the people who want Darth Maul to be the villain of this show, like and fight Obi-Wan in this show, which would literally just destroy canon, like entirely. Like, it would break everything.
Well, I've always said that Darth Maul can be in the show. He just can't fight Obi-Wan. He can still be in the show. He can be a looming background character.
He could,
but it does make it difficult to believe that he was not in. Well, does he die again before A New Hope actually begins?
Darth Maul?
Is there a storyline where he dies again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm assuming you don't care about spoilers for the animated shows.
No, I'm not. I'm never gonna watch.
So, spoiler alert for Rebels for people who do care about that stuff.
My man.
They meet again at the end. I think it's one of the final episodes of Star Wars Rebels. Darth Maul and Obi-Wan meet again, and they didn't know that the other one was alive. Obi-Wan, of course, thought Darth Maul was killed because he cut him in half, and Darth Maul thought Obi-Wan was killed during Order 66. And they find out that the other one is alive, and they have one final battle on Tatooine, and Obi-Wan kills Darth Maul. That is what happens. We see it happen in the show.
So question for you: do you think what do you think the possibilities are of them actually taking some of these cartoon adaptations and bringing them to a live action thing, and say and kind of turning the table and saying, hey, live action is canon?
That would upset a lot of people.
Would it?
I'll say that. I mean, combine Clone Wars and Rebels, that's what that'd be 11 seasons of TV that people were invested to, that all of a sudden Disney's like, well, actually maybe it's not canon. And it's not like, oh, it's bad, so if you take it out of canon, it doesn't matter. No, people love those shows.
Right.
So, yeah.
Jimbo says, I never blamed Hayden. I'm just excited to see him return. It was the fault of George Lucas. As a director, he should have gotten a better performance out of his actor. I agree 100%, Jimbo. I think as much as Star Wars is 100% George Lucas's baby, George Lucas is not the person to direct. It's the same. I think it's going to come down to the same concept as like Todd McFarlane and Spawn. You know, like, hey, you did a great job writing that character, but let somebody else direct that movie you want so bad. You know, because Because what's his main point? Like, I just want Spawn to look cool.
Yeah. He's the things he is saying is very concerning to hear from a director.
Right. But that's Spawn. We've talked about that before. You guys can check out those videos.
I'm sure we'll be talking about Spawn again at some point this year, of him saying it's right around the corner or something.
It's coming. I promise. One quick thing I wanted to point out, going back to Hayden's quote here. One thing I have noticed a lot more. I've seen a lot more articles coming out about Hayden Christensen talking about, when he was cast as Anakin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, people get put into these roles that you see them in, especially when you only see him in that role. You don't really know too much of their acting career outside of their main role. And Anakin seems to be that, and Darth Vader, well, more Anakin seems to be that role for Hayden Christensen. But hearing him, which this quote is not specific to. Well, I brought this up because this shows his excitement. The way he says, just to go back being a fan and watch these stories like everybody else.
Yeah.
The story when Hayden Christensen was originally cast as Anakin, he had a roommate, and his roommate was really excited for him to get the role. So he got the role, and he walks in, and he looks at his roommate. His roommate's like, "Did you get it?" And Hayden Christensen pretending like he lit up a lightsaber, and they did this fake lightsaber battle, jumping around doing Star Wars stuff for 15 minutes. I love stories like that, man. That humanizes a person, especially actors who can seem a little bit more than human sometimes, because they always seem just like these things you see on TV, and they're so far away, but when you see them, when you hear about them in a human element, I think that's really cool. With that being said, guys, Hayden Christensen is really excited he's happy about the sequel trilogy. It was kind of it was a blanketed statement that he said over it, but are you guys happy to see Hayden Christensen back in his role of Anakin, and what are you expecting to see from that moving forward? Let us know in the comments below. Jimbo says, how funny would it be if he's just in the suit? We never see his face, right? And he's voiced by James Earl Jones again. Welcome back, Hayden. Hide him. We've all thought about that. Yeah,
we're gonna see Clone Wars flashbacks, I'm sure.
Right, that's exactly how they're gonna do this. Clone Wars flashbacks. Not just that, but also I think we're gonna see a lot more of Vader without the mask.
Yeah, you're probably right on that too.
And it's to kind of just put that image out there, and maybe show that he wore the mask less than we thought he did. I don't know. Would that kind of neuter the character of Darth Vader? I
don't think so. And in my opinion, I feel like Darth Vader is one of the characters I want to see more of. Now, obviously, we've seen a lot from Darth Vader already. He's pretty much the star almost of 6 movies, the prequels, kind of. That's his whole thing, and the original trilogy is all built around Darth Vader. So
you're right, but at the same time, what I mean by neuter, you got to remember, it's hard to separate, but we got to remember Anakin and Darth Vader are 2 different people in a sense. The whole Obi-Wan, Darth Vader killed your father. It's that concept. So what I mean by neuter Darth Vader is, if we humanize Darth Vader as the character, would that kind of bring his intensity down? If we actually if we dive deeper into this character as a character study of his Darth Vader stuff. See, I don't see it should be that way. I think when we see Darth Vader, we should see the Titan Darth Vader. We should see everything that he does that earned that name, that fear that goes across the galaxy. That's what I want to see. So would it neuter the character to see a more human side of him by taking off the mask, so Hayden Christensen can have more screen time, not in just flashbacks,
Yeah, I don't think so, personally. I can see how somebody else would think that, but...
And James Earl Jones is coming back for this?
We don't know. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's in it. They probably want this to be his final hurrah as the character. Because James Earl Jones is 90, so
yeah,
they probably were like, you know what, let's get him in, have him do this, play the character one final time, and that's probably what this is.
You guys said that in the prequel trilogies.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
She's like, well, we didn't expect you to still be alive. So, all right, there you have it, guys. There's little Hayden Christensen talks about the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Let us know what you guys thoughts are down below. I'm saving my FaceTime as an actor talk for an upcoming topic. Huh? Saving my fit. Oh, I think the fizzy drinks are getting a Jimbo. No, let me see. I'm saving my FaceTime as an actor talk for an upcoming topic. Does it mean camera? I don't know, Jimbo. I don't know what you mean by that exactly. I'm sorry. My apologies, sir. All right. So moving on to our next discussion here. Now, this is. It's not really something I'm excited about or really know anything about, and I'm actually hoping it will bring up a slightly different topic than the one that we get forefront here. Oh, okay. No, the Gorr topic. I got you. All right. Well, yeah, we'll get there. Sorry, I got excited. I almost jumped to it. There's a movie that was supposed to come out in 2020, and obviously, as Caleb expressed earlier, it was a terrible time for movies. Caleb got let go at his job at the movie theater, and a lot of movies, all the movies, were postponed for the most part. And one especially that I just never heard about. I didn't know if it was going to be a B movie, straight to streaming. I don't know. It is coming to theaters on August 26, 2022. This year, and this is a superhero movie starring Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone is a grizzled old retired superhero and a new image from the long-awaited movie Samaritan. Long-awaited. Who's waiting? I haven't heard anything about this. Seth, do you know anything about this movie at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing.
Right. So, and this comes to us from Screen Rant, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up was because as excited as I got about this, I'm like, ooh, Sylvester Stallone playing a gritty superhero. Then I started thinking, like, I'm kind of getting fatigued with the superhero thing. Like, there's a lot of, it's not as exciting as it used to be. And I feel like maybe this movie might be too little too late. We'll have to see the movie. We don't know. The movie could show up and it might be the biggest thing we've ever seen. Man, yeah. Stallone is still doing his thing. Don't ever bet against Stallone. We might have that sort of mentality. I'm not sure. But when you hear this, Seth, do you have any excitement about this? And if so, or if not, why so or why not?
I mean, I don't know. I just it's not something I know anything about, so I have no reason to really be excited for it yet. I mean, I'm not someone who's like a massive Sylvester Stallone fan either. I like him, but, I'm not someone who's like, oh my god, a Sylvester Stallone movie. Oh, I gotta see that. Like, I'm not one of those people. So nothing now is super interesting to me about this movie.
Right, but for me personally, like Stallone was like the man growing up. Like he was the dude, And Stallone has always kind of taken these askew roles, these roles that you don't quite expect him to be in, and he kind of shines through them. One of them being one of the biggest ones being Demolition Man. A movie that's so outlandish, so so askew, but like they're really well-made movies. And Demolition Man is right up that alley. Yes, a lot of people have some disdain for Demolition Man, and I can never really understand why, because it's just a fun movie. So I'm hoping that this movie would kind of be in that same light. But with that being said, Seth, what about when it comes to the other topic of superhero movie fatigue? Is this something that's affecting you, or do you think a movie like this could shake things up a bit? But before you answer that, this movie, it looks like, or it sounds like, just a whole grizzled retired superhero. It sounds like it has the same light that Hancock was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It might be that sort of same mentality. But yeah, sorry, go ahead. what about the superhero genre? Are you still excited about it, or do you think, oh, I'm just going to stick to the MCU or DC, or are subgenre or sub companies like this, like Samaritan, these other lower level superhero movies, are these something that you're excited for or not?
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not super feeling the fatigue for superhero movies. I understand, and like I'm starting to get it though. Like, I'm starting to understand the fatigue, and I know exactly why I'm feeling it, at least. But
why is that?
It's the MCU shows. it's the MCU shows, because they used to do 2 movies a year now, and so it was like, oh wow, you got 2 MCU movies a year. What are they? And then they moved up to 3, and it was like, oh, 3 a year. That's still awesome, and it was still cool. But now they're doing. I mean, this year they're doing 3, but sometimes they're doing 4 movies a year on top of 4 or 5 shows.
Yeah.
And then we get to 7, 8, 9 projects a year, and that's just the MCU alone. And it's like, oh, like that's a lot. Like,
that is a lot,
especially because the shows are drawn out too, over weeks. So I get that, but I've obviously we know nothing about this movie, but I think it could be like a breath of fresh air, because
it could be.
You know what vibes I'm getting from this, even though
it
makes no sense, but just in my mind it does make sense. Chronicle. You ever heard of the movie Chronicle? I know you've seen Chronicle.
Yeah, of course, Chronicle.
But yeah, it reminds me of Chronicle though. Like, it's not being done by any. It's not a part of a major franchise, and it's a unique enough idea. It's not something we've seen in the superhero genre recently that I can remember, at least. So I don't know. I'm curious about it, I'll admit, but I'm not like dying to see it.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It could be one of those hidden gems. It could be like Chronicle again, like Hancock, which I did enjoy. It kind of goes against the grain, which I think maybe is what we need to get rid of this superhero fatigue. To be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
Jimbo says Chronicle was amazing. I 100% agree.
Chronicle is amazing.
Josh Trank was a great director in that movie. God, and I really would love to see his actual cut of Fantastic Four.
I have Chronicle on Blu-ray.
Aaron White says the only superhero fatigue I have is that every superhero movie released is not Man of Steel 2, right?
Well, right? You're gonna keep having superhero fatigue, my friend.
I don't know. Zaslav, he's kicking ass and taking names, man. I'll tell you what we might not get now is that J.J. Abrams Superman movie.
I saw that. I saw the headline today.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams.
I completely forgot that, honestly.
Yeah.
But
because Zaslav has put out, at least for TV series and stuff, a very low budget, $35 million for anything that comes out, on HBO Max as a series for DC properties. And J.J. Abrams had a deal for some series,
couple series, yeah.
Yeah, and one of them, J.J. Abrams like just recently put out, said, "Hey, I'm not doing this series for less than $200 million."
That's a lot of money.
Well, that's what he previously agreed with the executives of Warner Brothers before.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And now he's like, well, that's what we agreed on. So I won't take anything less than that. Zaslav, it's not going to happen.
I'll admit, though, I was curious to see what Abrams was going to do with DC, because it sounded interesting, because he was going into like a certain area of the DC world, because he was doing Justice League Dark, which we've never seen in live action before, which I was very curious about. Listen,
okay, Seth, can you get rid of that banner? Okay, because I'm going to kind of go on a slightly different topic here, just for the simple fact, when it comes to the DC property, Zaslav taking over, you're interested in what J.J. Abrams would have brought, because he was going to bring a few different properties to the table, as you said, Justice League Dark, a new Superman movie, all these things. I'm glad Zaslav is doing what he's doing. I'm glad he's going through it and cleaning the slate, because one of the biggest problems with the DCEU is that it was already a freaking mess. It was already a mess. And then on top of this mess that was confusing of what's continuity, what's not continuity, you have theatrical release of Justice League, which was a shit show. You have Zack Snyder's Justice League, which everyone loved, but it's not in the same continuity as the rest of the movies. But if you ask James Wan, well, I directed Aquaman to be a direct sequel to Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, okay, so now what? Now it's all just convoluted. It's all a big mess. The way to fix that is not add more random shit. I would love to see J.J. Abrams take a hold of DC and do something with it and come and have some new ideas. But at the same time, let's fix what we have. Let's take what we have and fix it, or just get rid of it all and start from scratch. I'm not sure what they're going to do yet, but I would rather do one or the other before we bring on new projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really would. Jimbo says Walter Hamada of DC testified in the Depp trial and was asked about Zack Snyder. He laughed and said, "No, I had no reason to speak with Zack Snyder. LOL. Man of Steel 2 is never happening." Well, okay, but is Walter Hamada still the president of DC?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to last much longer, but
Probably not, because he's kind of the problem. He's not as big of a problem as the previous people, but you know, he's part of the brush it under the rug problem.
What they're gonna do, I'm sure, is they're gonna let his contract expire, and then they'll be like, or
Warner Brothers. I know what you mean, Jimbo. Yeah, it is Warner Brothers, but and when we're talking movies, DC, Warner Brothers are kind of one and the same. But yeah, you're right. Sorry, Seth. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Stop. Sorry, my bad, man. Well, either way, yeah, I did watch some of Walter Hamada's testimony in the Depp trial. If you guys haven't yet, head over to Hit or Miss TV. If you're watching on YouTube, the description to the link to his channel is below. He covers the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial quite vigorously. It's actually a big reason why he's not doing our stuff right now, because he's just so busy with that. He doesn't even want to do YouTube anymore. You know, after he's done with that video, he just wants to go to sleep, because he literally studies at 12 hours a day and does a great video. But anyway, my point is, head to Hit or Miss or TV if you want the most up-to-date stuff on the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. The link is in the description below. He was talking about them letting the contract expire, if that helps.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Jimbo.
Yeah, I feel like they'll just let the contract expire for Walter Hamada.
Yeah,
and then just be like, you can go. they'll get somebody else to head DC Studios, and I mean, hopefully it's good from there. But you know,
well, we do have somebody who might head to DC Studios. He's that guy they pulled out of retirement for the third time in his career.
Alan Horn. He's not going to head DC Studios.
No, but he's going to help at least until they find somebody.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I think. I don't know. Either way, I kind of got off the topics there because I just wanted to kind of go on that Warner Brothers rant real fast. But moving, sorry, I got a message. Moving forward, yeah, superhero fatigue. It's a thing. You're right, Seth. It's the MCU, all the Disney Plus stuff. It's getting to be a little bit much, but maybe a new movie with Sylvester Stallone playing a grittier superhero. It almost might even be more like a what do they call it? The Bruce Willis one, Unbreakable. Yeah, it might even be more in that realm. That's a good creative way to go. But moving forward here, beyond the superhero realm, Samuel L. Jackson was cast in Chris Pratt's Garfield movie. I didn't even know Chris Pratt was doing a Garfield movie. We may have announced it on this channel, and
we've talked about it before.
Have we? Yeah, I feel like maybe somewhere in the back of my brain this was a thing, but like it's sorry if I keep scratching my nose, guys. I was working with concrete today. And like I haven't had time to take a shower, so like I got little concrete flakes falling out of my face.
Yeah,
I know. So like, I keep itching my nose. But now Samuel L. Jackson, has been cast as Garfield's dad or whatever.
Vic.
Yeah,
That's what it's named.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do? Chris Pratt is going to be playing Garfield and Mario. How do you think Chris Pratt is going to do it in this animated voiceover world? Because to be fair, the voiceover world is filled with a lot of talented people that spend years working on vocal instruction and, how to, change their dialects and, be more expressive just using their words. Do you feel like Chris Pratt is the right guy for that? Should we trust the studios here with Chris for Garfield and then also Mario, a traditionally Italian known character?
Yes. For one major reason, Chris Pratt should be heavily involved with animation, especially playing characters in animation. You know why?
Why?
The Lego movie. He did the Lego movie.
Oh yeah,
He's the main character in the Lego movie, and
he's the main character in the Lego movie, but the character that he played in the Lego movie is Chris Pratt. Like it's literally just Chris Pratt playing him. He didn't change his voice. My point was like when you start doing multiple properties, like you got his Lego movie, now you have Garfield, and then you have Mario. If he sounds the same in every single one, it's going to get into that weird Seth Rogen realm, where one of his characters sound exactly the same, except Seth Rogen has a very comical just voice naturally, so it kind of fits those more comical characters. Chris Pratt has a very, how do I say this most respectfully? Very basic voice.
I mean, let's be honest here. What do you need to change his voice for Garfield?
Yes, he would.
Lower it a little bit.
Dude, Garfield is a very, how do I what's the word I'm looking for? Like he's very low key, he's very, hey everybody, but without sounding depressed. He just sounds lazy and fat, which is what he is. That's what Garfield does.
Bill Murray was perfect casting.
What's that?
I said Bill Murray was perfect casting.
I'll tell you what, I never thought anybody could do the voice of Garfield besides the guy who did him in the actual, Saturday cartoons that I used to watch, because he was absolutely perfect. And each iteration of Garfield should hone into that classic style. And you're right, Bill Murray fit right into that tone. Told you. Sorry. Cement dust. But yeah, Bill Murray fit right into that tone. I don't see Chris Pratt as Garfield, and I don't see Chris Pratt as Mario. I'm getting a little concerned that maybe we're putting the cart before the horse here when it comes to hiring Chris Pratt for voiceover acting. Maybe let one come out that's not the Lego movie, because he just played his own voice in that movie. Like if he did a character that that's Chris Pratt, I didn't even recognize it. Then I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, hand him more properties, voiceover properties. But no, I can listen to that and be like, oh, that's Chris Pratt. Got it.
Find out when this movie is coming out.
Aaron White, Bill Murray was perfect fit for Garfield. Yes, he was. Unfortunately, those movies just didn't hit. First one was okay, but I'm kind of over the all live action cast with the one cartoon.
Character. I'm glad that this movie is going to be animated. This movie is coming out in November of 2023, so this movie's a ways away.
What about the Mario movie?
That got moved to April of 2023. That was supposed to come out in December of this year, though. But I'm more concerned about that. I'll admit.
Why did it get pushed back?
Well, Mario got pushed back. They just said they needed more time.
It probably falls under that same issue that's going on with all CGI stuff right now. Like everyone's so overloaded with doing computer graphics because the movies were paused for so long, and now they're all just coming out that they're they're all back-ended with getting all the graphics correct.
Yeah, I'll admit I can see him as Garfield. I think he can. I think he could do the voice. I think he can do it. And obviously, they wouldn't cast him just because he's Chris Pratt. He has to audition. They need to know what he's going to sound like. So, he
doesn't need to audition. Not all actors need to audition.
not every time, but it's 95% of the time actors come in, even if they're called in, it's like, hey, come in for an audition. We'll see what you're like in this role. And that's probably what they did here. They probably heard his voice, probably heard what he was going to sound like. And went, you know what? That's it. That's the one.
You know what? I'm going to say I wish things were like that. I think a lot of things are just done in the light of he's famous right now. Sorry, guys. That concrete dust is really getting to me. No, but he's famous right now. And that could be why they hired him. Listen, going back to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial discussion, there was somebody that was put on trial, I think yesterday or the day before, that literally her job is like a publicist almost. She has her hands in everything, getting the right negotiations, getting the right deals. We're going to hire this actor for this much because this is how much money they make, all this stuff, right? When she was being asked if her, who she didn't even know that who was all in Aquaman. She didn't even know she didn't know the actors that were in the movies that she was involved with. That's how out of the loop the people that do the hiring for this stuff actually are.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's going to keep happening. I can feel it. It's back there brewing. And because I'm talking a lot, it's like loosening up all the concrete crap. It's just in case you guys wanted to visualize it.
Okay.
But when
sure,
when it comes to just how disjointed these executives are, it's shocking, Seth. It's absolutely shocking. They really are. Chris Pratt is hot right now, so we're gonna hire him, and that's it. I feel like that's what's happening. I think that's what's got me concerned.
I just want to hear what he sounds like first. Literally, I don't think it's that deep. I just want to hear what he sounds like, and then I'll decide if he's a good pick or not. Mario, though, I'm concerned about because I've talked about this before. They've said he's not doing the Mario voice, but he's also not doing the Chris Pratt voice, and that concerns me because I don't know what that means. So,
yo, I'm Mario. What's going on, bro?
There was someone that said that they're gonna have Brooklyn accents or something.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that's what I was thinking. The New York Brooklyn accent.
I don't know if that's true because I think that was part of a leak somewhere. But that's still, I don't know. Sure, go ahead. Chris Pratt's talented. People try to act like he's not and that he's just oh whatever. But he is talented. And I know bringing up the Lego Movie again. Yes, he did only use his own voice, but he did a good job. He did a good job using his own voice.
Well, yeah, but you could say that I do a good job using my own voice. I know I suck talking, which is great for what I'm doing right now, live stream. Good job, Steve. But my point is how are you gonna say good job using your own voice? He's a decent actor
because it's a lot of them. You had to. I don't know how to describe it. He did a good job. I don't know what else to say.
He did a good job acting. I think it's
yes.
Yeah, he did
my
a good
point.
job acting.
The actor did a good job acting. Is my point here.
All right, but to me, voiceover actors are just they're a different breed. They are a different breed. Jimbo says I would have rather seen Samuel L. Jackson as John Arbuckle. You know what? Sure, why not? If they're going to do that live action thing again, I believe this is a 100% animated movie.
Yeah, no, this is animated.
I think we need to be done with that early 2000s style of just the one cartoon character with everyone else live action. If you want to do that mixed breed, go watch Rescue Rangers. They do it right. I love that Roger Rabbit style of mixing animation and live action. That's the ticket. But all right, so there you go. Samuel L. Jackson cast in Chris Pratt's Garfield movie, which sounds fine to me. I'm more concerned about Chris Pratt, but that's because I don't have any real reason to be besides I haven't heard anything yet. And when it came to the Mario movie, I'm like, okay, we'll see how he does with the Mario movie. But now he's being cast in another role. That's what's got me concerned. There's a lot more going on than just the one movie to give him his shot. Of changing his voice and seeing how well he does. Now there's a lot more investment going on with him than I think maybe even he expected. But hey, as long as his paychecks keep coming. He says, "Oh, I didn't know that. Which part? What did I say that you didn't know?
That it was fully animated, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's you said that, right, Seth? That it is fully animated. That we think it's fully animated.
No,
Okay.
no, it is fully animated. Yeah.
All right. Good. For an actor that could just use let me read that like a human. Hold on. For an actor that could just use his voice and sound like Garfield, I'd vote Harrison Ford. Oh yeah, slow cadence and line of delivery. You know what, Aaron? That's a very freaking good casting. I could see that.
That would be really funny, though. Could you imagine reading that headline? Harrison Ford has been cast as Garfield.
Seth, Aaron White just struck gold or struck oil, whatever you want to say. This makes perfect sense. I've never thought of this before, but Harrison Ford is the living Garfield, just in his mannerisms.
Yeah.
Go watch any interview with Harrison Ford. God, you're right, Aaron White. Perfect casting. Yeah, Jimbo agrees. I could see that. This is why Aaron White is the editor for Film Trigger. Thank you, Aaron. He is. Go check the description below. He has an editor credit. I'd give that all the money for sure. Man, that's okay. Hashtag release the Harrison Ford as Garfield cut. We want Chris Pratt out. We want Harrison Ford in. Oh my goodness. And I'm sure he likes lasagna. Yeah, who doesn't like lasagna? And if you don't like lasagna, you're a monster. All right. Moving on to something I know Jimbo's really excited to talk about. Bostic Logic's comic accurate Gorr, the God Butcher image compared to Bale's. Let's bring this image up. Now, the only reason why I'm really bringing this up, because I'm not a big fan of really comparing, comic accurate stuff with the movie stuff. I understand why they changed things, but we're about to jump into the Thor trailer breakdown, so this is a good segue into that. Boss Logic came out with this image of what they thought Gorr the God Butcher. If you take the comic accuracy and then add a little bit of creativeness to it, your own creative justice, and turn it into a quote unquote live action sort of thing, even though it's would have been as fully CGI characters. We seem to have this fuzzy line of what's real and what's not when we say live action. And this is what
I was gonna say. I don't know if he'd be CGI. Probably be
that. You don't know if that would be CGI?
Makeup, probably. Honestly, if you're gonna get Christian Bale,
probably
do makeup.
Why?
Because I don't know.
Hey, obviously they're doing just makeup for the movie, but
Yeah.
if they were to if they were going to completely just do a comic accurate rendition of the character, I don't what's it matter who the actor is? I mean, if in that sort of light, then Thanos should have just been, what's his name in makeup, you know what I mean? Like what I don't understand that logic there. Christian Bale's a wonderful actor, but if you can't turn him into a CGI character, I don't know if it doesn't. Anyway, obviously they didn't go that route, but when it comes to comparison of the comic book versus the movie, what's your opinion, Seth, on them changing a character, changing their look almost completely, like they did here with Christian Bale, and turning him more into a human figure? What are you okay with this, or would you have rather have seen more of a iteration of the comic book accurate Gorr?
I mean, there's certain things that I wish they didn't change. I wish he had the black robes instead of the white. I think that would have looked cool. But
he had the white robes. I've seen images. Most of the images I've seen of Gorr, he had a white robe.
I've seen them before. He has a black robe sometimes, though.
Well, there is something in the trailer, and I can't wait till we get to it, because it might be a tease of this symbiote actually showing up.
Maybe.
There's a little shot that there could be a symbiote scene, because Gorr, by the comic book standards, is a symbiote, right? Is that correct, Seth?
He has a symbiote sword.
Okay, well, but there's also an iteration of him that he's also has some symbiote lore as well. Like he absorbs some sort of power from a symbiote or
Well, I
something
think
like this.
he's involved with the symbiotes, like
Right.
the symbiote god
Right.
is where he gets the sword from, but he himself is not a symbiote.
Jimbo says they could do it with prosthetics. Gorr has a very Voldemort type of face.
Thank you.
Not that one in particular, but that face.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Listen, I'm not saying they couldn't. I'm just saying choosing not to because of a certain actor playing the character seems silly to me. That's the only thing I brought up.
I think you missed my point. Like,
my
point was just they wouldn't need to CGI this.
Right. What you said, they didn't need to CGI this because it's Christian Bale.
I didn't say. I didn't. I said I didn't think they would because it's Christian Bale.
Right. So that's where I kind of got stuck on. Like, I don't think the actor playing the role should determine what they do, prosthetic or CGI or not. But in either way, they still went fully with this whole full human look. Seth, what do you think about the look that Christian Bale has? Do you think this, besides the robe change, do you think Christian Bale looks menacing? Do you think this is actually going to allow him, obviously it's going to allow him to show his actual facial features and do his actual acting, visually. So like, I think it was personally, I think it was a good choice, but I'm also not really into comic book lore of it all. So I'm not that invested into the original Gorr look.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he looks fine, I guess.
Yeah, he looks fun. You ready to talk about the trailer?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring up the trailer here. All right, Seth, do you mind cutting that music for us? All right, we are going to, if you guys know, what I meant by FaceTime earlier is I think the reason they went this route was just speculating Bale's contract and a want for FaceTime on screen. Oh, okay, I see what you mean, Jimbo. Okay, before we bring this up, I do know what you mean, Jimbo. They did the same thing with Will Smith.
Yeah.
And the genie concept, and like it had to look like. Yeah, the genie had to look like Will Smith, and Will Smith also had to be a real person, for a certain percentage of the movie, which is why they did what they did. Well, and also the genie did kind of do his human figure for some of the cartoon as well, but nowhere near as much as they did with Will Smith. But to me, I think that sort of contractual thing is kind of bullshit. I really do. It's appeasing to the actor as opposed to the storyline. Like the story's supposed to say, hey, we want the genie in the story, but I don't know, there's a balance there. There's no, I don't make movies, so I don't know like the statistics of it, but to me, again, like I don't know why his name's escaping me, the guy that played Thanos.
Josh Brolin.
Thank you. Jeez Louise, I was trying to think of his name for like 10 minutes. Josh Brolin, like what if he had that in his contract? And like it was this Josh Brolin as Thanos, like that would have not done well. That he would not have came across as the same character. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have been as menacing, so they used him as a CGI character. Now you can still see a little bit of Josh Brolin in there, but for the most part, you see Thanos, Thanos, that's Thanos. Jimbo continues, but as you can see from the trailer we're about to watch, his face looks very different every time we see him. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe I don't know. I'll just let you roll the tape. Roll that beautiful beans footage. All right, here we go. Seth, let me know if this is too loud or not loud enough.
That's good.
Get
Yeah.
popcorn now. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time,
Of
Thor
course.
set
All
off
right.
on a new journey. Well, he got in shape.
All right, so we're gonna get a lot of different Thor looks in this movie, and I don't know how quick or slow they're gonna pump through them. Obviously, here we're gonna get what I like to call Thorist Gump. I just totally made that up, by the way. Yeah, because he has a very Forrest Gump look here. But okay, so obviously we got thick Thor from the previous movie, so we're gonna see him, work through that, which makes a very interesting point of trucker Thor, as Jimbo says. Uh, also, a little side note: strongest Avenger is what his hat says. I just think that's really funny. Wait, hold on, is that written in marker?
It might be. I don't know. I can't tell.
Because that looks like there's an S at the end of Avenger, like the Avengers. Like this is just like the Avengers hat that he wrote strongest on top of it. Huh. But this is what makes Taika Waititi breathing new life into this character a lot of fun, because Thor is becoming one of the most developed characters in the MCU right now. And I'm glad we don't just come into this movie and it's like, okay, well, he's back to his normal self. Let's get on with the fun antics of the Taika Waititi movie. No, he has to train. He has to do his part and do his stuff and get back to the Thor that we know and love.
Do you think Thor is going to die in this movie?
Do I what?
Do you think Thor is going to die in this movie?
No.
Do you know why I'm asking that?
No.
Listen to the beginning. Listen to Korg's dialogue again.
Him telling the story?
But listen to the words he uses specifically.
Kids, get the popcorn now. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god.
He was? Is that what you're talking about? The fact that he's using was?
He was a god.
Well, okay. I can kind of understand that question. That's a legit question. I mean, do I think he's going to die? No. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think Korg telling that story like that. That could be anything. That could really just be creating the mythology. Maybe Thor becomes a god somewhere else, or like goes and does some traveling across the universe. That's going to bring us into a whole new trilogy of Thor movies of him traveling multiple universes. Maybe he has his own multiverse adventure, and he kind of leaves Korg behind and just does his own thing, and maybe that's what Korg is talking about. Like, oh, my friend, he's out doing his space adventure, and now he's telling the mythological stories of the space Viking that was.
Yeah,
maybe. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, Gorr the God Butcher.
Maybe Jimbo says I do, and he says I had the same feeling, Seth. So maybe you might be onto something there, Seth. Real quick, Seth, can you add the banner of what we're doing right now? I forgot to add that banner. No, I didn't. Did I add that earlier?
Yeah.
I forgot it was there. Thank you so much.
Do you want me to keep it up?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I only take it down when there's 3 of us and it blocks off somebody's face.
Oh.
All right.
After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey. Well, he got in shape. He went from dad bod to god bod. And after all that...
All right. You ready for it? First of all, I love this little introduction. I'm Mjolnir. There she is. Okay. 2 things I'm going to point out here. Number 1, continuity of the trailer. The reaction we get of Thor compared to what just the reaction when he had Mjolnir, however you say it, like right.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. Like right there, he sees his hammer for the first time since it got broken by, his sister and whatever. But the next shot, number 1, he looks completely, he's got a helmet on. So obviously there's something way more to the story. I just think the continuity of the trailer is a little goofy, but not just that.
He reclaimed his title as the one and only Thor. Oh, spoke too soon. Jane?
Jesus Christ.
That helmet is awful.
But why is it awful? See, like, I would like to believe that Taika Waititi, I would like to imagine that Taika, you know what, Seth? Yeah, do take that thing down. It's bugging me. I do think that Taika Waititi would not do something like this without there being a story-driven purpose behind it. And I think there might be like maybe something that happens with when they go visit Zeus and all that, like maybe he overpowers Zeus somehow and becomes even a bigger god, becomes like bigger than he was before as a god, and now he's almost in that Loki realm of just kind of basking into the god glory of things. And so when that happens, you get over dramatic with with your god drab and all these things.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking is happening here, is that maybe he's just a little too big-headed about his god role and what he just accomplished, and now he's like boasting and going around going, well, I am Thor, Odin's son, I am a god, I'm the god that took down Zeus or whatever. And yeah, that's my thought. But that line delivery, Jane, God, if you watch my trailer reaction when I first saw that, I had the same reaction that I do now. It sounded so comical and comical, not in like, oh, that's a funny bit, like that's a fucking cartoon. It's a Scooby-Doo line. Seth, do you feel the same with that line delivery?
Yeah, it's weird, and I just can't get over the helmet and how bad that looks.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that plays into the story later on, or
I hope it doesn't. I hope it's in the one scene and we never see it again.
Right. Yeah. But there's also another vocal comedic thing that happens later in this trailer that we'll get to that's got me a little bit worried that maybe this movie might be a little goofier than we want it to be. But before we dive into that, Jimbo says, first teaser, heavy Guardians. This trailer, hardly any Guardians. I don't think they are going to be in it as much as the first teaser led on. Jimbo, I don't think the first teaser led them on that they're going to be in the movie very much. As a matter of fact,
they were in the teaser a lot, though.
Well, yeah, but like what I gathered from the teaser and this trailer put together is that they're going to be there at the beginning. They might be there for the first act of the movie, but there's going to be a point when Thor's like, hey, man, I got to do my own thing, and he's going to send them off and to their adventure that will lead into their third movie.
Yeah.
But I never thought they would be in the movie very long. I never had that feeling. I never thought that was going to be a thing. What that teaser, for me at least, I kind of got the idea that they're going to send him off, especially when he's saying goodbye, or it looks like he's saying goodbye, and he does that little bit with Chris Pratt where, oh, the ones you love, and he's kind of staring at him awkwardly. To me, I took that as him saying goodbye to the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I feel like that would be near the first act of the movie. It could be even sooner, it could be a little bit later, but I think it's going to be somewhere in that realm of the first act.
Yeah.
Okay, and her helmet's off, so obviously a lot happened between Mjolnir and then. She does like fit though. They got her pumped up in this movie.
Yeah,
for sure. I think Natalie Portman is gonna be one of those characters, because if you notice, like in the MCU, there's always been like the girlfriend issue. You know what I mean? Like they did it with Pepper Potts. Like she wasn't around for a few movies, and then they kind of lightly brought her back in, and by the end game, she's showing up as her own version of Iron Man and all these things.
Yeah.
And then Doctor Strange 2 that just came out. Spoiler alert for Doctor Strange 2. His what's her name in that movie?
Christine.
Yeah, thank you. Christine. They kind of gave her a send off. We probably won't be seeing much of Christine anymore. But this movie, it seems like Natalie Portman could possibly make a huge impact in the MCU, or maybe, Seth, I just thought of this, or maybe she's the one that dies.
I mean, it happens in the comics, I think. So,
does it? Oh,
but what I'm wondering though is, I'm wondering if they're going to reverse the role. That's what I'm thinking though. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
Derby Gaming says, "Who cares about Thor 4? Everyone, Top Gun Maverick is tomorrow. Yay!"
Who cares about Top Gun Maverick? Thor 4 trailers right now. Yay!
No, because we haven't seen Top Gun Maverick. What are we gonna talk about it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Top Gun's not on my wheelhouse, man. I just did my review for Top Gun, the first movie, and that's my first time ever seeing that movie. Derby Gaming. To be honest with you, it's just not in my wheelhouse personally. And that review will be out in the next few days because I do plan on seeing Top Gun Maverick. But I only do this 3 days a week, so I wanted to give special attention to Thor, this trailer. But yeah, Maverick, I don't know, not my thing. I just watched the first movie, and a little spoiler to my review that's coming. I wasn't a huge fan of the first movie, but don't get me wrong, I'm still excited about the new movie coming because it does look like it's going to be better. Everyone's saying it's a lot better than the first one, but I'll save what I have to say for my review when it comes out for the first Top Gun. But come on, Derpy, get on board here, man. We're getting the Thor stuff down. Give us your thoughts. Do you not care about Thor at all? Do you not care about the Thor Love and Thunder? Do you think it's going to be a trash movie, or are you just like that excited about Top Gun?
What's it been like? 3-4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days.
So, okay, it's kind of obvious there that the breakup was a little harder for Thor than it was for Jane. That was prevalent in Thor Ragnarok as well. She didn't dump me, I dumped her. It was a mutual dumping. He's obviously got some issues that he's dealing with there. Queen Amidala. What?
Amidala.
Who's Amidala? Who the fuck is that?
Star Wars.
Oh yeah. That was her name? Yes, Queen Amidala on steroids. That's right. Oh man, Derpy Gaming. I'm glad you're here for quality content. All right, moving forward with this trailer here, and I know that was Aaron White, but like I cannot. And Amidala, I would never have guessed that was from Star Wars.
Sensing feelings?
Okay, that was what I was talking about earlier. That other vocal comedic thing that happened.
Yeah,
that you take that, with the Jane. I don't know. There might be a hint of this movie being a little goofier than we expect it to be.
I mean, what were you expecting though?
Well, I was expecting the same thing as Ragnarok. Ragnarok had a nice balance of goofy, but this is like almost just from listen. It's just a trailer. I can't tell what the movie's going to be exactly from the trailer, but it just seems like that's a little bit more slapsticky than what we got in Thor Ragnarok, or what I've recognized from Taika Waititi when it comes to, Jojo Rabbit and stuff like that. Again, a satire movie, but it didn't get that kind of like low-hanging fruit of comedic stuff. And the fact that they do it twice in this trailer shows me that maybe there's a lot of that in this movie.
Probably.
So I don't know. It's just not something I expected Taika Waititi to be very funny and very intelligent comedy, but I'm not saying it's not going to be, but just those two vocal oddities in this trailer, it gives me a little something in the back of my head that says, maybe we went a little too far with the comedy with Thor. Jimbo says, just to be fair, it's two moments in the trailer. I think it's still going to be very much in the same tone as Ragnarok, just a little bit more love intertwined. Yeah, no, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. It is just a trailer, but I like to keep my ears open just in case.
Oh, you're right. The only one.
Yeah, here we go.
Care about.
Oh, see, I love that, and I love the fact that everywhere that Gorr shows up, all saturation is lost.
Yeah,
it's all black and white. Like that just is a visually stunning way. Just not number one to show the desolation and the demise and the permanent actions of what Gorr does, but it's also going to make for a very, very interesting and like almost Sin City style third act. Where we're going to get a lot of our characters in color and everything Gorr is a black and white. Do you know what I mean by Sin City, Seth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ones who gods care about is themselves. So this is my vow. All gods will die.
See, I think Christian Bale is such a great choice. Okay. Seth, am I wrong in thinking that this is the Bifrost?
it might be like powered by that, but that's not what that is. But it might have something to do with it, because the Biofrost would just take them directly to wherever they're going, but that's not what this is.
No, well, I was wondering if maybe they can now open the Biofrost with this goat-led pirate spaceship that they have. You know what I mean?
It's called the Goat Boat, in case you're wondering. Well, it has a name.
Not Goat Ship.
Nope, Goat Boat.
I just saw it and I just thought it resembled the Biofrost a little much.
That's definitely the intention. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
He's just my first bad guy.
Damn, a whole planet with a sword. See, like that shot, just previous to this, like this is what I'm talking about. That black and white,
Yeah.
and the color. That's gonna be such a beautiful fight scene, and we might get it multiple times in this movie. But yeah, I just think that's what a creative decision that they did there. That's one of my most anticipated parts of watching this movie.
I'm not like the other gods of kill.
Christian Bale, dude. This right here is why they're not going to CGI his face. like this dude's physical acting is just amazing, and I can't wait to see what impact he brings to this role. I love and watching this. I'm actually kind of curious. Besides, just the light makeup, to enhance, the black and white. But did they just desaturate Christian Bale? Is that what they did? They just take down the desaturation.
They might have done that. Yeah, I don't know.
I think might be what they've done. I don't think they powdered him with makeup, at least not fully, to give this effect. Jimbo says it looks like he's taking a. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It does look like he. You know what? We'll just. You're not wrong, Jimbo. Oh, there was the Guardians. Wait, where were they?
I don't know.
What is?
Yeah, it's the planet they're on at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, okay. It just for a second there, it looked like Titan. It had the same color scheme as Titan. I was wondering if we were going to go back there, if there was going to be some time travel in this movie or not. So,
hope not.
No, we've done enough of that.
Not something worth fighting for.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Let's see who you are.
Okay. Have you watched Ramon's reaction to this?
I have not.
Okay.
Sorry, Ramon.
Ramon is. This has got him all heated up. He considers this entire next section to be completely hypocritical of Marvel and all and everything like that. But we'll get to that.
I take off your disguise and flick.
When I watched Ramon's reaction, dude, Ramon went off on this huge tangent of, oh, cool. So it's okay to sexually, gawk at men nude, but like if the tables were turned and this was, Mighty Thor, Natalie Portman, and they did that, that would be that would just be a terrible thing. Women, you can't look at naked women in a Marvel movie. You can't, put them in that sexual light, and it's oppressing, and it's no good. We need to be better humans than that. But then it's okay to do it with a male character. Seth, what are your thoughts on that sort of outlook for what we're getting right here?
I don't know. I didn't even think of that.
He does have a point. Ramon does have a point.
I'm just watching the Thor trailer, man. I don't know.
He does have a point, though. When we're living in this quote unquote, words that we hate, woke world, where if this was a female character, this would be considered being objectively sexual, and not it would be very frowned upon. if that's what was happening here, especially the reactions of, Lady Thor Mighty Thor, and Valkyrie, their reactions to this are kind of like, hey, it's all right, let's just enjoy the show.
Yeah.
I personally think if they leave it blurred, that would be even funnier.
I'll say this. Now, this might sound weird because I'm not saying I want to see this uncensored, but I'm just saying it would look weird in the movie if it wasn't uncensored. Like if you're watching a movie just on the big screen, it's just censored. It's like, that's a weird choice.
Or what if Zeus censored it? What if this is Zeus censoring?
That would that would be kind of funny, actually.
There you go. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
in my mind, I figured they just did it for the trailer. But
like, what if Thor looks down and he's like, why am I all blurry? Like
that would make zero sense, but that would be kind of funny.
Does anything in this trailer make sense to you, Seth?
No, that's why I'm not fighting against it.
And also to be noted, some back tattoos here.
I saw the tattoo.
He's got some back tats. He's got a Loki tattoo.
Loki's helmet, and
Loki's helmet.
You know what it says? Above Loki's helmet?
What?
It says "Rip Loki" above the helmet. You can't really see it, but it's up there.
Dude, I can't wait for Loki to come back and Thor not believe that it's past Loki and think it was just another trick that Loki died. Like,
I mean, I saw somewhere saying that Taika Waititi wanted to do that bit in Ragnarok where it had Rip Loki because Thor also thought Loki was dead then too. Right. So, but they wouldn't let him do it. But now he's actually the writer this time, so he just put it in the movie.
All right.
Too hard, damn it!
You see, okay, I don't find the joke itself very funny, but Chris Hemsworth's delivery on that line was what made me laugh.
That's his genius, dude. That's Chris Hemsworth's genius, is his comedic timing. As I said, if you go back and watch my review for Ghostbusters, the 2016 remake or reboot or whatever, I thought Chris Hemsworth was one of the best parts of that movie. Yeah, that's when I realized that, dude, this guy's actually really freaking funny. And him and Taika Waititi, them together is just like it's peanut butter and jelly, man.
Yeah.
Shall we help him? And eventually, great.
That was a cool shot at the end.
Let's bring that shot back up. That one?
Yeah.
That is a cool, very 80s. Very 80s. But this is 80s the movie, so I swear to God, I don't think they can do it now because it's too much like Thor. But I'll tell you what, Chris Hemsworth would have been a freaking awesome He-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, there it is. There's the Thor trailer breakdown. Guys, what are you thinking down there in the comment section? Okay. Jimbo says, oh yeah, we already got to that. I hope we get a it's cold in here joke. Oh yeah, low hanging fruit, but I bet they're going to do it. Maybe they might make a penis joke. They might make a penis joke. I don't know.
Isn't that whole joke that kind of joke? Like,
yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, so you flick too hard. It's cold in here. Yeah, I could see that. Like him, or maybe I could see it more in the light of like maybe if he just continually like making like just overly, over explaining, how chilly it is. Oh, it's cold in here. I was just in the pool.
Yeah.
I just got out of the pool. The whole shrinkage joke. Yeah,
it seems like something Taika would do.
Yeah, Seth, what are your thoughts with the Thor trailer? Are you excited for this movie more so than you were before? Are you about where you were before? Did this trailer give you exactly what you expected, more or less? What?
It gave me exactly what I expected, and I am more excited for it. There's a couple things in it that I didn't like. We talked about all of them, but like, I don't know. I'm excited for it. Out of all the MCU stuff coming this year, it's probably the one I'm most excited for. So,
what other MCU stuff is coming out this year?
Movies, we have Thor and Black Panther. Those are the movies coming out this year. And then we have Miss Marvel, the show, which is in 2 weeks, is when that premieres.
How do you feel about Miss Marvel? Are you excited to see about that at all?
I mean, I like the vibes of the trailer, but like, I don't understand the power change, because I know we've talked about it before. They changed her powers.
But I don't know the characters, so I don't really care if they change their powers. I have no clue what her powers were before. To me, this is a new character, so
I just don't understand why. That's the only thing I'm thinking. It's like, well, why would you change the powers?
Well, maybe they'll explain it. Maybe they'll give you a good reason of like what the powers are exactly. I don't know. I don't know anything about the character, but
yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I think that's it, guys. I think it's for the most part what we have here. Let's jump into the comic section, see if we got anything. Jimbo says, I'm excited for it, but would have like a more accurate looking Gorr. But the FaceTime thing I talked about earlier, I think is why. If they did it with Brolin, they could do it with Bale. I agree. I will give you that, Jimbo. And that might go back to your comment earlier about maybe there was a contractual thing, but I don't know. I'm torn on that on that whole I'm torn on that whole concept, because to me Bale is worth that contractual agreement, like, oh, but his face has to be in the movie.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I'm like, but where's your intent of what you need with the character? Should you really sacrifice, what you want to do with the character just to get a certain actor in? But then also it's Christian Bale. The guy's a madman, and who the fuck knows Gorr all that much besides I don't know what Gorr. I only know what Gorr looks like because the audience has told me what Gorr looks like. If the movie came out and I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would not know the difference at all. Yeah. So but with that, also on that same note, even though I'm not a comic book reader, I knew what Thanos looked like before. I never knew his name was Thanos, but I knew what he looked like. My brother had comic books growing up. I knew that guy with the fucking nutsack chin. I always knew that character. He was embedded in my memory of something that was part of the comic book. So, maybe that has something to do with it too. They're like, it's Gorr. Maybe we can save the few millions of dollars on the CGI because not too many people will know what he looks like. So it's not really a big miss there. It's not going to be a huge uproar, just a small, more fandom uproar. And Jimbo also says, but Brolin was never Batman for 3 movies.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Man, that was, because Josh Brolin was the first pick actually to play Batman in
he was
the
one
Zack
of the
Snyder movies.
He was one of the front runners. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ben Affleck ended up taking the role. I believe there was like a timing issue. Like Brolin would have been the Batman.
I think so, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't know the specifics.
I'm not 100% certain either, but I believe I'm correct that he was actually like the main dude. He was going to be Batman, but then there was maybe his role with Thanos or something. It just didn't work out that he could actually do it and physically be there. But I'll tell you what, not too many times can I look at a casting and be like, this actor playing this role, I can't see any other actor in that role. I'm usually pretty stuck on the actor playing the character, but Brolin, I could totally see Brolin pulling off a very similar Ben Affleck style Batman for sure. Yeah. Zack Snyder had a very certain specific image in mind, and that makes a lot of sense. Jimbo, I would have loved to have seen Brolin or John Hamm as Batman.
I would have liked to see Josh Brolin as Batman. I think it would have been cool. I'm glad we got Ben Affleck, but if we didn't, Josh Brolin probably would have been my second pick.
I don't know much about John Hamm. What's John Hamm in?
He's in this one movie that I really like called Baby Driver, but I know he's in a lot of other stuff.
I'm gonna look him. I can't think of his face for some reason.
Mad Men. He's in Top Gun, the new one.
Oh, okay. I vaguely know this dude. Yeah, like I must have missed most of his movies.
Jeremy Renner's Tag. Remember
What?
that movie? Do you remember that movie? Tag.
Oh yeah, Tag. I really don't know much about John Hamm. I really don't. I've seen Tag. Yeah, I barely recognize this guy. Yeah, missed that one. Yeah, Mad Men. Never seen it. He's very talented, Bruce Wayne. Look, yeah, maybe if I got into the Mad Men, I would know more about John Hamm. But I've never seen Mad Men either. So yeah, missed the train on that one. Hey,
Yeah.
So you can't see everything, right? But I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, except for this Friday. I have a musical gig, so I won't be here, but we're going to move it to Saturday night. So Saturday night we'll be going live, and maybe, just maybe, Seth might be joining me in the actual studio Saturday. We're not sure about that yet, but either way, we'll be here Saturday as well. And also moving forward, Seth will be in and out because he got his new job at the movie theater, doing his thing, doing his stuff. You know what? Maybe, Seth, maybe you can talk to the movie theater and be like, hey, on like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, can my dad come and do the show live from the theater?
What?
What? You never, hey, what's the worst you're going to do? Say no? All right. I don't expect you to go ask them that. I want to thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate Jimbo, Aaron, Caleb, Derpy, who came in and said was excited about Maverick, and I think I disappointed Derpy again. I think Derpy's not gonna like me anymore. Sorry, Derpy. I love you, man. I appreciate you guys joining us today. It's always a fun time. If you haven't seen it yet, I have my Thor: Love and Thunder trailer reaction. It's up. Chippendale's movie review and my top is out right now, and my Top Gun, the original Top Gun movie review will be out in a few days. Yeah, Jimbo says congrats on the new job. I hope you enjoy it, man.
Thank you.
I do too, Seth. I'm very proud of you. Yep. So yeah, until Saturdays, we will see you all Saturday for Drive By News. Stay trigger happy, my friends. Peace.